Alright, so let's take a look at problem number 7. So problem number 7, I need to look for angles. So I'm looking for angle Z, and I'm also looking for angle Y. That means I'm going to be using the inverse tangent or the inverse sine, the inverse cosine rule. So whenever you're looking for an angle, you are using the inverse functions like inverse tan. So I probably need to get my sides together first, and I'll find x, and I'm really all set up to use the Pythagorean theorem for x. So I think I will do that. So I'm going to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. X can be the leg I'm looking for. 4 will be my other leg, and 19 is the hypotenuse. And I know it's the hypotenuse, the C, because it is across from that right angle. Yes, it will be the longest side, but I don't really know for sure that it's the longest side because I don't know what x is. But I do know that it is opposite the right angle, so I know that 19 is the hypotenuse. And then I'll plug this into the calculator. It'll be 19 squared minus 4 squared, so minus 16. $345, and then it'll be 345, the square root of that. So about 18.6. So x is 18.6. And then I could find either y or z next. It doesn't really matter. We'll find y next. So y, I'm going to find by using an inverse trig ratio. So I need to label my sides of my right triangle. 19 is the hypotenuse, 18.6 that's opposite of y, and 4 is the adjacent side of y. And I'm not going to use the 18.6 because just like in the last problem, there was a rounding that happened to get 18.6, so that means that there's an error in that measurement, an acceptable error, but I don't want to use that when I'm going and finding another measurement because it will compound the error. I want to start with the numbers that I was actually given with. So I'm going to use the adjacent side and the hypotenuse because those are the numbers that I was given to begin with in the problem. Adjacent and hypotenuse are the cosine ratio. So the cosine of y is going to be equal to the adjacent side, which is 4, over the hypotenuse, which is 19. And then to find out what that value is, what y is, I have to do the inverse cosine. So inverse cosine of 4 divided by 19. And you'll pop that into your calculator and you'll get an answer. So I've pulled up an online calculator that you can use. You go to www.desmos.com .calculator, and you'll get a window that looks kind of like this. Let's see here. You'll want to make sure that you are clicking the Show More option, and then you'll see a whole bunch of different options here. Here are the sine, the cosine, and the tangent buttons, and you want the inverse, and the inverse is arc sine, arc cosine, arc tangent. Those are just another way of notating that it's the inverse of those three trig ratios. And something else that's going to be important to do, and this is really important if you're using a graphing calculator, you want your calculator to be in degree mode. So in this online calculator, you would go up to options, which is that little wrench at the top. And then down where it says trig settings, you want to make sure that you're in degrees, not in radians. And if you're interested to know a little bit more about the difference between radian and degree measure, You can ask, and I'd be happy to post a video if you'd like, or I can explain it to you in class. It's pretty interesting stuff. You'll learn more about it next year in Algebra 2 Trig for sure. So in any case, I'm all set now. It's in degree mode, and in my problem before, I was needing to figure out this problem here, the inverse cosine of 4 divided by 19. So let's see, let me get rid of this here. So I'm going to type in the inverse cosine, which is arc cosine on this calculator, and it's 4 divided by 19. And you'll see right over here, this is where they're giving you your answer, not to enter or anything. So 77.8 degrees, or 77.8 degrees, or 78 degrees. Let's round to the nearest whole degree. So y is going to be 78 degrees. And then I have a really easy time for finding z. Z is just going to be 78 degrees minus 90 minus 100, or minus 78. Did I say that right? Yeah, 180 minus 90 minus 78. So go back to that same calculator here. So delete all this stuff. Alright, 180. Take away 90. Take away 78. And what do we have there? Oop. Wait. There it is, 12. Once again, here's your answer. The equal sign, but that you would use when you're graphing. They just give you the answer right here in the corner. 12. So z equals 12 degrees. These are the three answers. Z is 12. 12. 2.6. And is 78 degrees.